Questions for Unit PEF Activity 3. So for the first question, we had to pick which one of these students' opinions we agreed with. I personally agree with Victor. I believe that magnets attract each other by having particles of some sort and emit certain particles that attract or repel other magnets toward each other. Particles are energy, I guess you could say. They use a type of energy to attract each other. And when the energy slash particles that are part of the magnets emit themselves in the air, they attract, repel other objects with similar particles, or they attract or repel other magnets. And then for this one, it talks about the barrier. I said, yes, I would think that even with a barrier in between the two magnets, the magnets themselves would still interact with each other or attract each other. And then for the third question right here, it says if they did not interact, which of the ideas, if any above, supported or refuted? What about if they did not interact? So I said if both magnets were attracting their sides, forcing them to go towards the barrier, they would attract each other up against the barrier, and if they did attract each other, it would support Victor's statement. If they were not interacting, it would support Samantha's statement. If they were attracting each other, it would also um, fit Amara's statement too, or support Amara's statement. Okay, so that's page PEF 23. If we move on to PEF 24, it put, suppose you place two interacting magnets in a container and pumped out the air. I said that would they still interact with each other? I think that if the magnets were in a container where the air was pumped out, because I believe magnets attract each other by sending electrical waves into the air, to attract other magnets, I don't think they would attract each other if the air was pumped out. So for the second question, it said, would any of the students' ideas support this? So I put if the magnets didn't interact with each other, the student Samantha's ideas on the previous page would be supported, but both Victor and Amara's statements would be refuted. And if they did not interact, Victor and Amara's statements would be supported while Samantha's would be refuted. And that's on page 24. So if we jump to page 26, the next question I answered, I think that the energy given off from the magnet / the magnet waves that are given off that emanate from the magnet are part of an energy source, and the tension of holding the magnet cards also gives energy. Magnet cards also give energy for the cards to increase in some sort of energy. The person pulling or pushing them and holding the magnets apart decreases in chemical potential energy and the tension between the magnets causes them to increase in energy, and as they're let go, they increase in kinetic energy. So that's on page 26. And then on page PEF 27, I think that if one of the carts had more mass, that specific cart would move at a faster pace and push the cart with less mass. I believe both carts would increase in kinetic energy, but only the cart with more mass would have a higher increase in kinetic energy than the other cart. And then last but not least, the last prediction question on page 29. I put if two attracting magnet carts start further apart, I think they would gain more kinetic energy as they are moving towards each other. If they start close together, they would have less of an increase of kinetic energy. than the cards that started further away. I think that the energy that is attracting the other magnets is magnet potential energy, and it starts to decrease when the cards move closer together, causing the kinetic energy to increase. The further apart the magnets are, the more the further apart the magnets are, they're attracting each other, and thus higher the magnetic potential energy is produced. And those are all my answers for prediction questions for Unit PEF Activity 3. Thank you.